Let's paint your pot. Start with a nice solid base coat. Next, we'll use a sponge to get an organic rock-like texture. Dip your sponge in water and then squeeze it out. Make a paint color that's different than your pot. Go ahead and dip your sponge into that paint color. Use a tapping motion to apply little dabs of paint to your whole entire pot. Change the position of your hand all the time so you get a random texture with your sponge. Good sponging is random, and it uses many different hand positions to achieve that random rock-like effect. Not so good sponging is blotchy and predictable. Bam, 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 bam. You can see that repeating pattern. It doesn't look natural at all. Once your sponge pattern is completely dry, then we'll use antique technique. We'll use watered down paint, applied and then wiped off. It helps accentuate lines. See that see-through purple? That's purple paint with lots of water in it. Now, go ahead and paint your pot, your antique color, and make sure to get your paint in all the cracks. You might need to work in patches and areas because you don't want it to dry. While it's still wet, you're going to gently pull off some of the paint, leaving some paint down in the cracks. Try and get it as even as possible. You'll notice how the lines are really accentuated by that darker color down in the cracks. You can use a darker color or a lighter color, but it really helps show the construction of your coil pot. Next, we'll do the last accent with Rub and Buff, a rub-on metallic color for the high spots only. You'll take a little bit of this paste and get it evenly on your finger. You want to make sure there's an even coating on your finger with no globs. Really lightly, you're going to touch the high spots of your pot in your chosen area. You do not want to rub this down in the cracks. You want your antiquing to show in those dark cracks. You're going to use the Rub and Buff and only touch the high spots that you want to. And it's going to give you a really pretty metallic gleam. When you're done, you will have a coil pot that has sponging, antiquing, and Rub and Buff in different areas. You get to choose the areas, you get to choose the colors. But you're going to notice that it went from being pretty flat looking to having a lot of dimension and interest.